Hey everyone, welcome back to our YouTube channel. Today we're going to be speaking about what we believe to be the event and what's occurring right now on our planet, and the shift that we're all experiencing internally, and also which is in return collectively occurring because of the work that people are doing individually on themselves, which is allowing for this to happen. So this is known as the mass awakening of the planet, where people are waking up to their true selves and they're finding who they really are, and they're finding that they have a purpose for being here, more than just working any type of job or just doing one thing their whole life and then finding out that towards the end of the life that they really had no purpose and no mission or no reason.
It's got to be the worst feeling.
Yeah, exactly. So that's one thing that this awakening's allowing for, I believe, is for people to find a purpose for being here on this earth right now at this time. And we truly all have some type of mission and reason for being here right now. And that's what's happening on the collective level, is that people are awakening to find this reason for being here.
What do you think is the best way to kind of try and find your mission or your reason?
I think personally the best way to do that is through meditation, yoga practices, doing things that you're most passionate about, doing things that you love in your heart, and allowing for all of that to awaken your inner self. And really, once you start to go in and you start to look inside of yourself and see what you believe to be your purpose for being here, it'll just come through to you. It'll just allow for you to wake up to why you are here.
Well said.
Because we truly are here for some reason. You know, we didn't just come here to live an average life and not make a difference on this earth. Like, we really all do have some reason, some greater purpose for being here. And that's one thing that a lady by the name of Dolores Cannon, she wrote 17 or 18 different books throughout her time of being here on earth, and she just passed away about 5 years ago. But one of the things she talks about is QHHT, which is quantum healing hypnosis therapy. And she would have people go into this hypnotic state, and she would ask them questions. But one question she always asked each and every individual soul that she would do this QHHT on is she wanted to find out what their purpose for being here on earth right now is. And she got very similar responses from each and every one of these thousands of individuals in these books. And it was mostly saying that we are here because we believe we have a greater purpose on earth, and we know that we came to earth right now because there is this shift occurring on the planet right now. And that's why there's 7 billion souls right now on this earth. You know, people are wanting, souls are wanting to come here to have this earth human experience, to be here during this collective shift that's occurring right now. And
so, question, real quick.
Yeah.
When you're talking about that with Dolores Cannon, when she was asking these people these questions, they were under a state of hypnosis?
Yes, correct.
Right?
So being under that state of hypnosis, they actually come out of it not even knowing
what ended up happening.
But they have to go back and watch the video recordings.
So being in a state of hypnosis like that, do you think that they're more in tune with like the collective consciousness being in a state like that?
Yeah, and I think they also come into tune with themselves, because they're able to see their soul purpose for being here, rather than just using the mind, which the mind is a limited tool that we have. You can go into the heart and into the true reason for why you're here.
Right.
And I believe that's what happened to those thousands of people who were interviewed by her, is that they went inside themselves allow to outwardly express why they're here.
That's cool.
And I didn't
understand the first time that she put them under meditation.
Oh,
I thought
yeah.
she was just interviewing people.
Yeah,
so
no,
that's really
it's,
cool.
it's under a whole entire hypnosis state. So they weren't actually, they actually had no clue what they were saying, and which is the cool thing. She would record them,
Yeah.
video wise, and then she would write down exactly what they would say.
That's
and
cool.
these people couldn't even believe that is what they said. Like
Right.
they were like,
well, it's like
wow.
it's like when people do psychic channelings, they don't really generally remember what happened,
Right.
so they record it, right? Like
Exactly.
Edgar Casey,
Yes,
he used to do a lot of that.
exactly.
That's
Yep.
awesome.
So that's a really cool thing, and
See, stuff like that happens, and it's like, wow, maybe there's something going
greater.
on.
Yeah. It gives, she gave a greater understanding of, if you have thousands of people saying a very similar thing and giving similar reasons for being here, it just allows you to know that there is a greater shift occurring.
Right.
And it allows you to understand that there is a greater purpose for being here. You know, there's a greater purpose for being on Earth at this time, and if you feel like maybe you haven't found that yet, you're not alone. There's many people right now who are in jobs they hate, and they're just coming to realize, like, wow, I can't do this the rest of my life. I have to do something else with my life, and they're finding their true purpose for actually being here. And it's never too late to find that purpose and to follow your dreams and
It's never too late to change your life.
to change your life. Exactly. So that's one thing I wanted to touch on, is I believe you should follow your heart and do the things that make you most happy in life, whatever that may be. If you find that going to yoga with a group of people is what you feel called to do to help yourself and to help others around you, then do that. If you feel like meditation on a daily basis is something that helps you, which is something I use, it's something that truly has helped me to overcome many obstacles and to come to find my true self, and still find my true self each day. Just find that thing that helps you, you know? So,
Amen to that.
I'll let you take over.
All right, so I wrote down some stuff, and I'm going to read it right off my phone,
He's got some good stuff.
because I didn't have time to memorize it all, so don't hate me. But so I want to start with something that we're all familiar with, the Mayan calendar. So in regards to this awakening, the Mayan calendar is based on what's known as a long count, which is 5,126 years. They believe that our world began 3,114 BC, count of 4 Ahua 8 Kumku. All right, so this is what's considered by the Mayans as the fourth creation. There were 3 previous creations that were wiped out by deluges, like the account of the Great Flood in the Bible with Noah, the Atrahasis in Sumerian cuneiform, and Utnapishtim, who's mentioned in the Epic of Gilgamesh. All right, so I just think it's pretty interesting that the Mayans believe there were 4 different sort of root civilizations that were wiped out by, catastrophes. But anyways, 2012 marked the end of the long count and the end of the previous Baktun, which is how they would measure these things. So some people believe that this marked the end of the world, which it obviously didn't, because we're still here in 2018. It marked the end of a cycle. All right, so we as a planet began to move towards the galactic center, and we would begin to pass through a massive energy shift that I believe is the catalyst for what's called the awakening. So another point that suggests this shift is what's been referred to as the Age of Aquarius. So a lot of people know that phrase, or they've heard it, but they don't really know what it means. And it simply means that we moved out of the house of Pisces and into the house of Aquarius, the water bearer. So Jesus actually spoke of this in the New Testament of the Bible. He was very knowledgeable about astrology and dropped subtle hints about it numerous times. He knew that the different zodiacal houses each held a different sway on the people due to the energies associated with them. So this is an idea that goes all the way back to ancient Mesopotamia. All right, the Sumerians believed that each zodiacal house was ruled by a different Anunnaki demigod. And the Anunnaki just means those who from heaven to earth came. Anu means heaven and Ki means earth. So the change of a zodiacal house marked the rule of a different Anunnaki to the Sumerians. So according to their zodiac, the age of Pisces was ruled by the Enlilites and would last from 60 BC to 2100 AD. And this would be a time of turmoil, war, spiritual upheaval. So just look at what happened in that time. We have the Crusades, the Dark Age, 2.5 world wars, all the other wars that took place in between, the burning of libraries to suppress knowledge from the people, just war, upheaval, and spiritual oppression right there.
Duality.
Yeah, but here's the bad part. Now here's the good part though. The age of Aquarius, which would be from 2100 AD to 4260 AD, would be ruled by the Enkyites. This would be a time of spiritual enlightenment, the revelation of our true selves, and the realization that we are all connected to the one divine creator. All right, now, a name like the Awakening suggests the achievement of knowledge or realization of a goal, right? So to me, this means there must have been some sort of suppression to keep us away from that goal. I believe this goes all the way back to the genetic manipulation that started with the symbolic Adam and Eve, the disassociation with our divinity that starts when man is kicked out of the Eden and loses touch with the inner harmony and balance that is called enlightenment by the Buddhists and the kingdom of heaven by Christians. Because, like Jesus said, the kingdom of heaven is within you. In the Bible, Jesus says, the kingdom of God does not come with observation, nor will they say, see here or see there. For indeed, the kingdom of God is within you. And in the lesser-known Gnostic Gospel of Thomas, Jesus said, if those who lead you say, look, the kingdom is in the sky, then the birds of the sky will precede you. If they say to you, it is in the sea, then the fishes will precede you. Rather, the kingdom is inside of you and outside of you. When you come to know yourself, then you will be known, and you will realize that you are the children of the living Father. So it's all the same. It all ties together. Now back to the topic. I believe the awakening refers to the re-achievement of this state, and I believe it's done through the activation of our Kundalini Shakti, or Kundalini energy. And more specifically, I believe that what we are experiencing now is a massive shift from the solar plexus chakra, which is concerned with personal power, control, and confidence, to the heart chakra, which is concerned with unity and unconditional love. All right? In yogic terms, the Kundalini is considered the sleeping serpent that lies dormant in the Muladhara or base chakra. So there's a reason that the serpent has been demonized by the powers that be. They want you to associate it with something evil, when really the coiled serpent within is the key. All right? The Kundalini energy moving up the spine is represented by what we use today as the medical symbol, the caduceus, which was the staff of the great master known as Thoth in Egypt and Hermes Trismegistus in Greece. It is also a representation of the double helix DNA, which literally makes us who we are and contains the code to our enlightenment when activated. The spark of divinity is literally written into our genetic codex. All we have to do is activate it. So there are countless references to Kundalini throughout every culture. Moses turning his staff into a serpent in front of the Pharaoh in order to liberate his people, that represents the spiritual liberation that comes along with the Kundalini awakening. So to go a little deeper into Kundalini and how it works within us, there are these things called energy nodules throughout our bodies. So the yogic tradition refers to them as nadis, and in Chinese tradition, they're called meridians. These regulate the flow of energy through our etheric energy bodies. All right, so this energy is what's called prana, chi, ki, or vril. It's all the same thing, many different names for the same thing. All right, the path of the Kundalini, it starts in the base of our spine, like I said, in the Muladhara chakra, which is known as the base chakra. And once awakened, the Kundalini energy rises up 2 paths, intersecting at each nerve ganglia or chakra point in our spine. Just like the flow of a coiled, serpent rising up. There are many chakra points throughout our body, but we're only going to cover the 7 chakras, the main chakras along the spine. There's the base, the sacral, the solar plexus, the heart, the throat, the third eye, and the crown chakra. All right, if all these chakras are cleared and opened, the Kundalini, the energy can flow freely through them. All right, so the chakras each represent different levels of awareness and consciousness, and the Kundalini can only proceed upward if the individual has cleared these blockages and is ready to progress to that next level. So it's a very personal thing that's unique to every individual. based on where you are mentally, spiritually, emotionally. These paths are represented in many esoteric practices, including tarot cards, the pillars of the Kabbalah, or Tree of Life, and they're further represented by Adam, Eve, and the Tree of Knowledge. Adam represents the masculine solar energy of the left brain and the sympathetic nervous system, which is called the Pingala Nadi in yogic tradition. And Eve represents the feminine lunar counter energy, the right side of the brain, the parasympathetic nervous system, which is called the Ida Nadi. And then the tree is a representation of the middle pillar, which is the spine that houses the energy bodies that the Kundalini moves through. I feel that once your Kundalini is awakened and has moved past these chakra points, the end goal is to achieve the state of complete unification with the source, right? So this is the complete death of the ego and the realization that we are one with everything. As Thoth said in the Emerald Tablets, "Know, O man, that light is thine heritage. Know that darkness is only a veil. Sealed in thine hearts is brightness eternal, waiting the moment of freedom to conquer, waiting to render the veil of night. Know ye, O man, whatever form ye inhabit, surely it is one with the stars. Thy bodies are nothing but planets revolving around their central suns." I believe the awakening isn't a one-time movement or event, but a spiritual journey that we have embarked on as a collective. All right, there have been mass awakenings in the past in the form of spiritual movements, revelations, and more people will wake up now and in the future, but everyone's journey is personal. Remember that you are the best teacher for yourself. Meditation, like we were saying earlier, can be a very helpful tool, and it's all about introspection and personal reflection, and that's truly the only way to reach your own awakening. Gurus and teachers may be necessary to help guide you along your path, but at the end of the day, you must put in the work for yourself and follow your intuition on what feels right to you. You know, just as far as yoga goes, there's hundreds of different schools of yoga out there. You got to follow your intuition and find which one feels right for you, which one elicits the best response out of you. There are many different types of meditation. It's a very personalized thing. And I want you to take this with you and remember this. Ong Namo Guru Dev Namo. That means I bow to the divine teacher within. Always remember that the best teacher for yourself is within you. And the only way to cultivate that is through meditation, through yoga, through quieting of the mind, real deep introspection. And that's what's going to lead you the farthest on your journey. You know, seek out help of teachers and gurus if you can, or if you feel you need that extra push. But the best thing that you can do is to start looking within.
I agree. Yeah, and I've had many teachers along my path that have helped me in many different ways as well. So I believe that they, as he said, they have cultivated and allowed for me to awaken to different aspects of the spiritual path. But the true work that I've done on myself has been the work that I've done internally through my own meditation and through my own seeking of knowledge, which is inside of we truly already know the answers. They're all in us. They're all inside of us. It's in our DNA.
It's in the genetic code.
It's all about finding and awakening to those answers within yourself.
As soon as you tap into that and sort of activate it, everything will become clear to you. It's the term of Satori, the sudden enlightenment. It all just becomes clear. And as far as like gurus and teachers go, you don't have to go to a place and find somebody and be one-on-one with them. You can learn a lot just from reading or from watching people on YouTube. That's a lot of what we did. And I read a lot of, different philosophies, and I consider some of my gurus to be people like Jesus and Thoth and Babaji and Mahatma Gandhi and the Buddha. You don't have to personally know your guru. You just need to, absorb every bit of information you can that's going to help you along your path. And then once you have like a solid base, a solid foundation, really just think it over. Just meditate on it, try to apply it to your life and figure out what are they really saying and how is this directed towards me? Because everything is directed towards you. Every really truly great piece of spiritual literature is directed towards the individual coming to know the source. And it may be called God, it may be called Yahweh, it may be called Allah, it may be called nature, it may be called, nirvana, but it's all the same thing. It's all the source, it's all the creation, it's all the spark of divinity, that holy flame that gives you your power.
Yep. And this truly, I believe, allows you to know that you have a greater purpose here on earth at this time. And one of the things I find most important is just to be in the moment and to...
Eckhart Tolle style.
Yes. Be present. Really just enjoy the experience. Whatever ups you go through, enjoy them just as much as the downs you go through. You can enjoy that as well, because all of it plays an important role in your spiritual development. Going through some of the harder times and, some of the more rough patches, I guess you could say, is it allows you to grow and become more of yourself, and you realize that all of these experiences we go through on a daily basis, they shape who you are.
They teach you something. Everything that you experience, whether it's good or bad, is some form of a lesson.
Right.
And a lot of people will say, like, oh, it's karma. It's a cosmic karma thing. At the end of the day, all it comes down to is you came here for a reason, and part of that reason is to either reap the rewards of something you did in a past life or learn a lesson from something you may have done in a past life. So there are people who are born and they just seem, from a very young age to be very inclined towards, say, the piano, or they could be from a very young age very wise and spiritual. Maybe in their past life they were a famous pianist, or they were a wise, guru. Some people will come here and they'll experience a hardship. Maybe in a past life they needed to learn the lesson of patience. So now in this life, they have a couple things happen to them that they make a few, rash, impulsive decisions, and then they learn that lesson of patience the hard way.
Yeah, and on that, a lot, some of the harder things that we go through and that we think are like sometime like a time that we would never get through, and some of the hardships that we face, like those actually bring you to true awareness. It's what actually you find that those rough times and those harder times are what really wakes you up to this moment and to finding your true self. Some of the toughest souls have not had the easiest paths in life, and you have to experience those hardships to allow to get to the moment where you can be your true self and to help in the way that you were called to be here, at this time. And it's very interesting.
Just about figuring that out.
Exactly. It's about figuring it out. We're all just trying to figure it out. That's it.
Yeah.
And that's part of the journey, but you just have to stay positive, keep a good head, a strong intentions, and just positive intentions, knowing that everything is unfolding the way it's supposed to. Really just allow the universe to open up the doors that are supposed to be open for you. Just don't resist, and just allow for everything to happen. And then things start to happen a lot more fluidly, and you start to open up your eyes and connect to your heart. To your heart, because
especially when you're in like a higher state of being, like say you are cultivating your kundalini and you are working on yourself, this is going to raise your vibration, and it's going to make everything around you more fluid. It's going to make everything flow easier. There's going to be less resistance on your part. There's going to be more acceptance and, like surrender, that kind of stuff. But it's also going to be, you're going to have a much easier time manifesting what you want. because if you're stuck in a dense, low vibration, you're not in tune with your true potential as a co-creator with the creator of all. If you raise your vibration and your spiritual level and just everything like that, you're then able to, I don't want to say manipulate the system, but like work the system in such a way that, is on your side.
Yep.
And you'll see things differently, and you'll start to realize what things mean to you and why they're happening for you, and you can put everything sort of into perspective that way, which is a powerful tool to have.
I agree. Couldn't have said it any better. Well, you want to wrap things up?
Always wrap things up. Any final thoughts?
I would say just my final thoughts would be just to connect deeper to yourself and just
continue learning always.
Continue learning,
but
also just learn more about yourself and just
the introspection is very important.
Go in more. And with me, I try to connect on a deeper level to my heart as of lately, because that's what the shift is about. It's shifting to the heart center. So just feel a greater connection to your heart and feel love for all living beings on earth, and just feel love for everyone around you, and try to live from the heart, and then it'll allow for the experience to be much easier.
And in my experience, if you just work on clearing your mind and coming to a place of like stillness, the love and all that stuff is just kind of automatic.
Yep.
If you're not super preoccupied with your thoughts and your opinions and your personal thoughts and everything, you're more open to experiencing and realizing how beautiful everything is, and how there's just oneness at the end of the day.
Exactly. And we're all gonna realize that on a collective level one day, that it's just one. We're all one, connected together.
Hopefully before 2100
yeah.
AD. There's always a little bit of leeway with that kind of stuff. So.
Exactly. The dates are never 100%. But
yeah, don't worry about that.
But just know that we are shifting in the right direction. That's all
Yes.
we really need to know. The collective is shifting in the right direction. You may see the duality at its greatest right now. You may see a lot of bad things happening, but also look at the good things happening. Look at all the positive things happening as well, because on the news you're going to see the opposite. So just look for the positive things. Go and try to find a group of people that you resonate with, that are going to help you to become a better person, and be around people that are making you feel better about yourself and bringing you up rather than bringing you down. And just be aware of the people that you're surrounding yourself with. Really, that's really important.
We should make a Facebook group for that.
Yeah.
Whenever we hit 1,000 subscribers, we'll make a Facebook group.
I like that.
All right, so there you go.
Sounds good.
We're putting that out in this video, and then people are gonna watch it, and then a year from now, everyone's gonna be like, "Oh, this is how the Facebook group got started."
Yeah, exactly. Well, on that note, like and subscribe this video. If you would, guys, share it with your loved ones and anybody you feel that would take something positive from this message. And we hope you have a beautiful rest of your week, and have a great day, and peace. Namaste.